A series of prophets have made frightening predictions about the future of humanity, including things predicted to become reality in the year 2024, such as Putin becoming a world leader, humans communicating through thoughts, babies being designed based on parents' desires and needs, and an unexpected king ruling the United Kingdom. Join us in this video while we reveal all the secrets gonna shock the world this year. Mars mission. Perhaps the name Michel de Notre Dame is hardly known, but if we talk about Nostradamus, things change. This 16th century Frenchman is still relevant because of his prophecies and his accuracy regarding current events 5 centuries after he wrote them down. According to Nostradamus, the celestial fire would descend upon a regal edifice, coinciding with the extinguishing of the light of Mars. The Frenchman said that this year there was going to be a light failure on Mars, a somewhat mysterious message, as is often the case with Nostradamus, but which is nonetheless disturbing. He adds that celestial fire will appear when the lights go out on Mars. Not only Nostradamus, but The Simpsons also have a prediction about Mars. This time is the life on Mars. On March 13, 2016, episode 16 of The Simpsons' 27th season aired. It was titled The Marge Ian Chronicles, and it featured one of the most interesting predictions ever made by the show. In this episode, Homer Simpson and his family are selected for a special program that will take them on a space flight to the planet Mars. The twist in the story was, however, that Marge and Lisa eventually made it to Mars. Although it would eventually happen in 2051, how does this relate to real life? That's where Elon Musk comes in. Like other space lovers, Musk desires to push the boundaries of space exploration. This revolutionary deed places mankind one step closer to colonizing Mars. Musk said that, without reusable rockets, it would be unaffordable. It dramatically improves my confidence that a city on Mars is possible. It's what all this is about. Musk has long spoken of his plans to colonize Mars, and over the years, he has made many predictions of when people might land on the planet. He said, if things go according to plan, we should be able to launch people probably in 2024 with arrival in 2025. This man continued predicting that people will on Mars in 2029. And Musk said he hoped to build 1,000 of SpaceX's starships over the course of 10 years in order to send 1 million people to Mars by 2050. Musk also revealed that with the development of his new Starship rocket, life on Mars could be right at our fingertips. Imagine being able to book an interplanetary flight from our green Earth to places that are light years away. It could be the singular most monumental achievement in human history. Who knows? Maybe by 2051, there will be more Mars cities than anyone can count. At least by then, The Simpsons will be able to say we told you so. All of this Mars talk raises several thoughts in our mind. First, I'm astounded at the lengths that we will go to find our origins, or should I say, to prove that our origins are not as the Bible has presented. Secondly, the staggering efforts to reach the worlds beyond our reach is mind-blowing. What is it we wish to find? What are we aiming to accomplish? Finally, it's unfortunate that many don't understand or want to believe that all these things shall be added to you. Notwithstanding, during these chaotic days, know that Scripture indicates Christ's second advent is around the corner. When he comes, he will take his people to be where he is. At that point, the dreams of space travel will be realized. God will make us kings and priests, and we will inherit the kingdom. In the new kingdom, you will be able to explore Mars and the entire universe. In the meantime, there's work to be done. We live on a planet where countless go to Christless graves daily. Let's take Paul's advice to heart. I charge you therefore before God and the Lord Jesus Christ, who will judge the living and the dead at his appearing and his kingdom. Preach the word. Vladimir Putin, Lord of the world. Quick ask, quick answer. Do you know how long Putin has been driving Russia? Tell us if you know the answer, ASAP. Okay, FYI, this powerful man has led Russia for more than 2 decades and turned this country into one of the giants of humanity. In 1999, when then Russian President Boris Yeltsin appointed him as prime minister, Putin was still a relatively unknown figure to the vast majority of Russia. However, within just a year, after Yeltsin resigned and Putin assumed the presidency, Russia witnessed a style of decisive leadership. This was how Putin restored stability to Russia after years of turmoil. Over time, Putin seemed to become Russia's ultimate shield. In the recent presidential election in March, with an overwhelming majority of votes, Putin once again remained in the Kremlin amidst Russia facing numerous sanctions and Western isolation efforts. This result demonstrates the significant support the people have for President Putin, placing their trust in him despite the challenges facing the country. For Putin, this outcome will grant him another 6 years leading the vast country of Russia. It seems that the controversies surrounding Putin have not diminished his influence on Russia in particular and the world in general. This also leads us to the second prophecy that I am about to reveal. Might you heart the name Vanga? Baba Vanga, who was born in 1911, claimed that she was given a very rare gift from God to see into the future after she mysteriously lost her vision at the age of 12 during a massive storm. Baba Vanga died in the mid-90s, but in her lifetime gave many prophecies, some of which have been matched up to real-life events. Before her death, people who knew her claimed she also predicted the Russian war in Ukraine and that Vladimir Putin would become so powerful that Russia would become unstoppable. Literally, she said that Vladimir Putin would become the lord of the world and that Russia would become the world's superpower. Baba Vanga said, "All will thaw as if ice, only one remain untouched, Vladimir's glory, the glory of Russia. Too much it is brought in a victim. Nobody can stop Russia. All will be removed by him from the way, and not only will he be kept, but also become the lord of the world." The Bulgarian clairvoyant predicted that Russia would be the world's only superpower. Designer babies. When you hear designer baby, what comes to mind? But you know, this concept will surpass anything we can imagine. Design is really design. Piercing blue eyes, platinum blonde hair, athletic physique, superior intelligence. The temptation to create the perfect child according to our criteria is within reach. But behind this idyllic dream lies a complex reality with profound ethical and social implications. A designer baby is not simply a matter of personal choice. It raises fundamental questions about the future of humanity. What kind of society are we heading towards if the selection of children's characteristics becomes the norm? Are we moving towards a two-tier society where perfect children would dominate those born naturally? Concerns over designer babies rose to the public consciousness decades ago when recombinant DNA technology and IVF were being developed, and again when Dolly the sheep was cloned. In the years since, many countries have passed laws or embraced guidelines that regulate the scientific use of human embryos. A majority of countries with advanced research programs have laws or guidelines in place that either ban or restrict genetic modification of human embryos for reproductive purposes. Even the first two countries to use CRISPR in human embryos for research purposes, China and the UK, explicitly prohibit initiating a pregnancy with genetically modified human embryos. In 2018, a scientist called He Jiankui shocked the world when he announced the birth of 2 babies with edited genomes. Jiankui used the CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing tool on twin embryos to rewrite their individual CCR5 genes, creating a resistance to HIV. There are 2 main approaches to gene editing: germline editing and somatic cell therapies. Germline editing is performed during embryonic development. If you edit the embryo when it's a single cell or a small number of cells, you edit all the cells that will divide from them, meaning the gene edit is in all the cells of the body. Great for curing diseases, but this treatment also affects sperm and egg cells, meaning the edited gene is passed down to children and grandchildren. So, by editing embryos, you alter the course of evolution for generations to come. It is precisely the use of this method which sits at the heart of the designer baby debate that put Jiankui in jail. Besides IVF, we also mention pre-implantation genetic diagnosis, as known as PGD. It is a technique that allows the analysis of embryos obtained by IVF to detect possible genetic abnormalities. This technique also allows the selection of the child's characteristics, such as eye color, hair color, and sex. It is through the combination of IVF and PGD the creation of a designer baby becomes possible. IVF allows the selection of gametes and their fertilization in vitro, while PGD allows the selection of embryos that match the desired characteristics and do not carry the risk of genetic diseases. Advances in science in the field of assisted reproduction open up extraordinary possibilities. In vitro fertilization and pre-implantation diagnosis make it possible to bypass some infertility problems and choose the characteristics of the child. Especially in 2024, it is possible to choose the color of the eyes and hair of your unborn child, thanks to IVF and PGD. The choice of the baby's sex is possible thanks to the sperm sorting method and IVF with PGD. Soon, genetic selection of embryos will be open to all parents. After all, what do you think about this technique? Do you agree that it's increasingly being developed? If you had the financial means, would you want to design your dream baby? Telepathy and the social network of brains. Telepathy, the ability to transmit thoughts or feelings between individuals without the use of the conventional senses, has long been a staple of science fiction and fantasy. But is it possible that this ability, once relegated to the realms of magic and mysticism, could become a reality through advancements in technology? Might be. The prospect of telepathy began shifting from fiction towards reality with the development of technologies like electroencephalography, EEG, and functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI, tools that allow scientists to observe and record brain activity. The potential for telepathy becomes even more exciting when we consider the possibility of not just decoding brain signals, but also transmitting them from one brain to another. In recent years, scientists have taken the first steps towards achieving this. In a landmark experiment, scientists achieved direct brain-to-brain communication between humans. The experiment involved transmitting a simple binary message, like yes or no, from a person in India to a person in France using non-invasive technologies. The sender thought the word yes or no, which was encoded into binary code and then sent via internet to the receiver, who perceived the message as flashes of light in their peripheral vision, which they interpreted as yes or no. While this experiment was a far cry from complex thought transmission, it was a significant proof of concept demonstrating the potential for direct brain-to-brain communication. Necromancy. If you said that in a couple of decades, we'd be able to speak to the dead, upload our consciousness on a computer, and have many robots moving through our blood, people would wonder that you might be crazy. We have to mention Ray Kurzweil. In case you don't know him, Ray is an inventor, a futurist, the lead engineer at Google, and a man whose work with artificial intelligence has dazzled technological sophisticates for nearly 4 decades. Dr. Kurzweil elaborates on how he believes AI technology can transform humans biologically. According to him, we'll be able to scrap human memories and duplicate them on memory drives with the help of nanobots. These memory drives will then be mimicked by AI software that will simulate the personality, voice, and even the intelligence of our dead relatives. So when you talk to these AIs, you won't even realize that you're not talking to your real families. Kurzweil argues that we know these machines are possible because they already exist inside our cells as the proteins and enzymes that facilitate life. Developing artificial nanotechnology requires duplicating and improving upon systems that nature took billions of years to evolve, perhaps with carbon-based diamond components more durable than biological micromachines. According to Mr. Kurzweil, in less than a decade, humans will also have created technology to fend off aging and illness with microscopic robots, sent to repair our bodies on a cellular level. He also claimed that such nanotechnology will even allow people to eat whatever they want while staying thin and energized. Levitating cars and trains, a suspension railway, a passenger-carrying drone, or a self-driving car. Although it seems like science fiction, these types of vehicles will be a reality in the coming years, and some already have a launch date. Sustainability, technology, and safety will be paramount. When we imagine what the future will look like, we probably fantasize about flying cars or supersonic planes, like the ones we see in films. Heavy traffic in large cities and road accidents are also problems that are being worked on by the transport industry, which is relying heavily on technology. Artificial intelligence, big data, internet access, and the use of renewable energy are key to giving us an idea of how we will be able to move around in the medium term. But it's not a dream, but might come true very soon. In March 2024, technology company IronLev announced the successful pilot run of its magnetic levitation train as the team took it for a test on the Adria Mestre route in Italy. Dubbed the world's first magnetic levitation train, the vehicle was seen running on its own and without an in-person driver on an existing track for the first time ever. IronLev's test showcased the potential of applying magnetic levitation trains to railway lines already in use, a look into the future of public transportation and goods transport systems targeting reduced noise and vibration. However, Japan is preparing for the launch of a high-speed train capable of exceeding 600 km/h in 2027, thanks to a combination of aerodynamic design and magnetic levitation, i.e., carriages that are suspended some 5 centimeters from the rails, eliminating friction. Engineers in the United States are planning to develop a train that exceeds the 1,000 km/h barrier, so that you could, for example, travel from Los Angeles to Miami in just 4 hours. Currently, the same journey takes over 5 hours by plane. And in very near future, these vehicles that seem to only appear in movies will become popular with the entire society. An unexpected royal king. Recent speculation has surfaced regarding predictions made by 16th century astrologer Nostradamus, suggesting a tumultuous future for Britain's King Charles in 2024 after his cancer diagnosis, which was discovered when he was undergoing treatment for an enlarged prostate. Royal observers speculated that King Charles might step down either voluntarily or due to pressure related to his health. The revelation of King Charles's cancer diagnosis has left many questions unanswered, with Buckingham Palace withholding details regarding the cancer type and stage. This lack of transparency has fueled both concern and speculation about the monarch's health and the potential implications for the British monarchy. In his renowned work, Les Prophecies, Nostradamus seemingly forecasted the monarch's downfall, including potential abdication or forced removal. Nostradamus predicted the potential abdication of a king and the rise of an unexpected successor, which now seems to echo the current situation involving King Charles and Prince Harry. The ancient prophet said the King of the Isles would be driven out by force and would be replaced by one who will have no mark of a king. Before that, he accurately predicted Queen Elizabeth II's passing at around the age of 96, a prophecy that aligned with Buckingham Palace's announcement of King Charles III's diagnosis following his mother's demise in 2022. However, the question of how Prince Harry, who has shown little interest in royal duties, would end up as king remains unanswered. Nostradamus predicting Harry would become his successor seems unlikely, but we will never know what will happen after it actually happens. In 2024, Elon Musk shocked the world when his brain chip startup Neuralink already has its first product, dubbed Telepathy, after the company successfully inserted an implant into its first human test subject. He wrote on X, enables control of your phone or computer, and through them, almost any device, just by thinking. Initial users will be those who have lost the use of their limbs. Imagine if Stephen Hawking could communicate faster than a speed typist or auctioneer. That is the goal. Musk has long touted the potential benefits of the experimental brain chip, ranging from improved cognitive function to assisting people with disabilities, such as individuals with vision loss or who have become paralyzed. The last pope. There would be only one more pope after Benedict. Don't be afraid when you hear this. In 1139, St. Malachy set out from Ireland on a harrowing pilgrimage to Rome. Upon sighting the eternal city, he fell to the ground and began murmuring Latin verses, each signifying the future destiny of the popes. His words were suppressed for over 300 years by the Roman Catholic Church. Yet to this day, 90% of the saints' prophecies have come true, unfolding in chronological sequence in 111 medieval Latin mottos and a final coda that together hide clues identifying the succession of 112 pontiffs up to Judgment Day. The prophecy of St. Malachy is actually a set of prophecies written by an Irish priest. The prophecy contains a list of more than 100 brief mottos, said to describe more than 100 popes, beginning with Celestine II. Counting forward, the prophecy would tie the next to last motto on the list to the now retired Benedict XVI. In a series of 112 cryptic Latin phrases, the Irish saint predicts the Roman Catholic popes. However, his prediction for the 112th and current Pope, Francis, is far more chilling. He predicted there would be only one more pope after Benedict, and during his reign came the end of the world. So Francis could be the last. St. Malachy's final prediction in full is, "In the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will reign Peter the Roman, who will feed his flock amid many tribulations, after which the seven-hilled city will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge the people." The end. Pope Benedict was the 111th Pope from St. Malachy. This means Pope Francis is 112. St. Malachy said that during the last papacy, God would judge his Pope and city of seven hills, which meant Rome would be destroyed. The Bible prophesies the destruction of Rome, the city of seven hills in Revelation 17, which says that the whore of Babylon will be seated on seven mountains. The destruction will take place at the end of the Great Tribulation and right at the time of the Battle of Armageddon. Furthermore, the Bible prophesied that the Pope who is in office at this time of the Antichrist will form an alliance with him and will become the prophesied false prophet. It's very interesting that many Catholic prophecy books teach there is an evil Pope coming and that he will be the last Pope. As for the prophecy concerning the 111th Pope, Pope Benedict, the prophecy says of him, Gloria Olivae, which means the glory of the olive. The Order of Saint Benedict is also known as the Olivetans, which many claims make Malachy's prophecies correct. The next and final pope then should be Peter Romanus. So will Pope Francis, the 112th pope, be the last pope? Will he be the false prophet and evil pope that the Catholic prophecy books speak about? Were you also aware that the Vatican means Hill of the Fortune Tellers and Soothsayers? It's all interesting, isn't it? The Irish seer of the 12th century has said it will be so. Time will tell. Cure for cancer. The mystic predicted that new cures for diseases like Alzheimer's and cancer will be invented this year. It sounds unbelievable, but, nothing is impossible with the rapid development of world medicine. President Vladimir Putin recently said that Russian scientists are close to creating a vaccine for cancer that could soon be available to patients. He said, "We have reached a significant milestone in the development of cancer vaccines and next-generation immunomodulatory drugs. I hope that soon they will be effectively used as methods of individual therapy," he added, speaking at a Moscow forum on future technologies. However, he did not specify the types of cancer the proposed vaccines would target. Furthermore, recent developments have confirmed progress in the development of a lung cancer vaccine. the United Kingdom has allocated funding for 2 years of laboratory research and initial manufacturing of 3,000 doses for a DNA-based lung cancer vaccine, as stated in a press release from the University of Oxford, located in Oxford, England. But it cannot be denied that the world will have a positive outlook for cancer patients, and we can fully expect that miracle will happen in 2024. The world is going through big change. In Le Prophecy, published in 1555, Nostradamus also mentioned that in 2024 there will be a number of troubles happening globally, including increased conflicts, geopolitical problems, wars at sea, problems with the royal family, and a major humanitarian disaster. But the biggest worry that humanity faces in 2024 is likely to be nature, when a series of climate disasters are predicted to occur and threaten human life. The dry earth will become drier, and suddenly, a great flood will come. This is a verse taken from the work Le Prophecies, showing what Nostradamus predicted in 2024. To describe this verse, it can be understood that the already harsh climate situation will get worse. The French prophet predicts that extreme weather phenomena, such as record heat, forest fires, droughts, and storms, will increasingly occur with greater frequency and intensity. Global warming is a huge phenomenon going on in the modern day. The Bible does not specifically talk about climate change or global warming. However, the Bible does tell us the world will eventually be burned in fire, which could be another way to understand how alarming the Earth's condition will gradually become. 2 Peter 3:10 informs us, "But the day of the Lord will come like a thief. The heavens will disappear with a roar, the elements will be destroyed by fire, and the earth and everything done in it will be laid bare." God will one day erase this current universe and replace it with the new heavens and new earth. How much effort should be made saving a planet that God is eventually going to obliterate and replace with a planet so amazing and wonderful that the current earth pales in comparison? Nostradamus's prophecy also coincides with scientific warnings about climate change occurring in 2024. Accordingly, the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration recently said there is a 1/3 chance that 2024 will be even hotter than 2023, and a 99% chance that 2024 will be among the 5 hottest years, has been recorded. This is based on the fact that the world is being affected by climate change due to human burning of fossil fuels, along with the El Niño climate pattern emerging in the second half of 2023. That, combined with many natural factors, has caused a series of harsh phenomena such as snowstorms in North America, volcanic eruptions in Iceland, dense fog, and cold waves causing temperatures to drop sharply in India. These cases show some of the harshness that the world is going through.